Rolling. Action. What's going on, guys? Back with a new video, and today I've got a brand new camera. As you saw in the beginning, I finally got the Canon EOS R5C. As you saw in the unboxing in the beginning, it's pretty simple what you get with the camera. It's the body itself, the battery, the charger, and a few cables on the camera strap, which I'm never gonna be using. But speaking of this camera, I got this camera along with the kit lens because it wasn't available, just the body. And to go along with that, I got this 16mm 2.8 lens for vlogging and other very wide angle stuff, since I felt that was lacking in my kit. So these two are like basic kit, and I also have the 50. Also now I have the 50. I've had this from before, but I'm just showing you it. I have the 50 as well, so this will be my basic setup for creating videos and taking photos as well. That's the speciality of this camera. You have a dedicated photo and video mode, and I'll get into that right now, the different modes and what makes this camera special and more about it. So just speaking about the camera itself, you can say in photo mode it's just an R5 with a fan, but when you switch into video mode, you get the entire new cinema menu. So when you switch it into video mode, you are greeted with a brand new menu. It's the cinema menu. In this menu, it's the same menu as you get in the C70, the C200 and all the cinema cameras of Canon. You no longer have the video menu that are in the other mirrorless cameras. So that's the one thing I really liked about this camera. You don't have the 30-minute record limit either, so you can go recording as long as you want. You are now able to go into the menu and have things instead of like aperture, there's iris and all very video centric things, and you can go and you can deep dive into these as much as you want, and there's a lot that you can do. And going a bit into the frame rates and recording resolutions, you can shoot 4K up to 120 frames per second with autofocus, and it can even shoot 8K up to 60 frames per second, which is crazy. But I don't think I'm gonna use that anytime soon. And with the fan now, it won't overheat as easily, and the fan's not that loud from what I've experienced. Let me bring it a bit close up. You can barely hear it. I don't know if you heard that or not, but when I've been using it for a few days, I've never really heard the sound of the fan, and it's never really bothered me. And if I'm recording anything with the mic on my camera, I'll just turn it off for the time being, or I'll turn it off while I'm recording, and while in standby I'll turn it to maximum. You have these options in there, so which is great. So if you're on standby mode, you can have it to max, but when you're recording, you can set it to the lowest setting, so it'll always be cooling, but it won't make a lot of sound. And mainly for color profiles, there are two that I'll be mainly using. One would be C-Log 3, and next would be the neutral color profile that we usually get on our cameras, on the normal cameras as well. So I'll be switching between these two, but there are many more options that I'll let you know. There's BT709 White DR, Canon Log 3, HLG, BT709 standard, EOS neutral, and then there's a bunch of custom profiles that you can use as well. But I'll be mainly sticking to either neutral or C-Log. And yes, I'm aware of the battery drop issue that this camera has, that in video mode it uses batteries very fast. It basically consumes a battery if you are in any resolution, but in 30 or 25 frames per second, it'll last about 1 hour, and if you're in 60 frames per second, it'll last 30 to 40 minutes max. So that is one issue, but for the time being, I will just test it, and based on what I feel I would need, I'll either get an external power source or maybe just a few extra batteries. But until then, I'm just going to be using my one battery or keep it plugged in into a power bank. Now switching over to photo mode, and once you turn the switch, it takes about 5 seconds to turn off the camera and reset the software, and it opens to a brand new interface that we're all used to, which is the normal mirrorless camera mode. Well, what I've been used to, because I've been using Canon cameras before. In this mode we can shoot RAW up to 45 megapixels, which is a lot and more than what I need. And yeah, I've been using this camera for a few days now, and this is just my initial impressions. I've not had any problems in photo mode, even in battery life. It's been a perfect camera for me. Just in video mode it's going to take a bit getting used to, but other than that, this is a perfect camera, and I feel if they release a few firmware updates for the video features and the battery life, this will be a perfect camera. But enough talking, let's go test this camera out, see what it has to offer, see how's the quality. So let's go out, let's shoot some photos and videos. And right now I'm using the 16mm lens to vlog, and you can take a look at how wide it is, and you can also get an idea of the dynamic range of the camera, as right now I'm in the shadows and behind me is the highlight. So right now on the monitor it is a bit overexposed, but we'll only find out properly. The sun is right here, so that's probably clipped, but I think in editing I can probably get a decent dynamic range out of this camera.